John Owen Greene was an American lawyer and farmer. He was born in 1823 in Harrison County, Indiana, the son of Edmund Greene and Nancy Owens Miles Greene. In 1862 he married Elizabeth Adams, having 2 children. He died in Floyd County, Indiana in 1911. Today we will review his only book, the 1893 The Ke Whonkus People. The narrator, Captain DeLilly, after nearly drowning in a boat wreck, in an impressive scene where he awakens slowly time after time to see which of his fellow survivors drowned this time, goes to join Oscar Rhodes on his way to the North Pole. When they do get there, Captain von Schnaukenpucker, yes, that is his name, finds a dead man in a cave and holds a seance, and we learn he can communicate with the dead this whole time. This leads them to a hidden country in the pole called Ke Whonkus, a civilization that is almost 30,000 years old and had been isolated from the outside world this whole time. Upon getting there, the tone gets confusing. We get seemingly straight and boring discussions on proper government, taxation and temperance, but it also calls nuns prettywinks, and the religious lectures DeLilly and Co. do to try and convert the Ke Whonkians to Christianity are, well, the author here lists objections from the audience that are not straw-manned and include arguments used even today, such as Pascal's wager making no sense, as people cannot choose what they believe, and the narrator has nothing to say to it, but call their objections blasphemous and not provide any solution. If anything, his continued poor argumentation and their presentation of logical arguments drawn from the premises make me think we were supposed to consider his conversion efforts foolish, if only because they keep not having good answers and making excuses for not having them over and over again, and then resort to saying, God can do whatever he wants and we can't question it. After having an accident, DeLilly and his mates are taken to the rejuvenating spring at Ke Whonkus that actually make people younger, DeLilly especially so. But some people in the country still refuse to use the literal fountain of youth for some reason. Their friends then tell them Ke Whonkus had gone through a civil war between the scientists and the sun worshippers, and it was only a woman's forgery of a dead man's signature that prevented bloodshed and extermination in either camp. DeLilly also meets the Ke Whonkus Sun Pope J. Willikins, and learns how he was tricked by a forgery to help establish prohibition in the country, but not before he lets them go to Ke Kultus, the sun worshippers' hell, to which they banished heretics to suffer a horrible death. Arriving in Ke Kultus, they travel through the various rims of this subterranean hell, meet the half-animal, half-human cargoes who live here, and then blow a bunch of them up with bombs without any remorse, before freeing one of their mates from the stomach of a huge snake. Then they encounter the flying, blood-sucking dragon Carcolo, and escape being devoured by it, before they make their way into a hidden cavern where they find an ancient manuscript, and then never tell us what was in it. On DeLilly's way back to his ship, they stop at a cave where they found the dead man at, and Captain von Schnaukenbucker's ghost shows up and tells him the Polar Star was crushed by an iceberg and sank with all on board. Lilly, determined to be on his way back to Chicago, randomly stops on the way to Prospect, and we read way too much of his wanderings over the frozen waste, and the impromptu pistol duel he gets forced into before meeting Rosa's sister, saving her and then marrying her. The tone, as I said, is inconsistent, going from boring to satirical to remembering it is an adventure story once in a blue moon, and is way too uneven to be enjoyable.